The divine uprising. Doesn't make AMA better. That's a cool. Yo, the Bastet get redone? Oh, I was hoping that was a remodel. I'm like, oh my god, Bastet looks way. Sexy Poseidon? Pretty hair Poseidon?
Welcome in, everybody. It's the 5.15 update show. I'll be your host,
Hi,
Aggro. And look, I say this every time. It's true every time. We've got a sick update show for you this time.
Wow.
We got bug fixes, all that kind of good stuff. We got a lot of teasers today, including some stuff about the next
Aggro.
god, maybe even the tier 5 winner being announced on this update show. It is, but like it's a cliffhanger, so make sure you stick around. Make sure you find out who will be your tier 5.
If it's got Nash.
We've also got a new adventure to go over.
Oh,
it's going to be a big one, so let's get right into it. We'll start with going over some of those skins that you just saw. Those are part of the Divine Uprising. We'll start with Royal Champion Awilix. This one is not part of the Divine Uprising.
Ooh.
This is tied to the adventure that we'll be seeing later on. I am
that's an
super stoked about this skin because I hear there are some really
That's
cool
cool
things that you get to do that are very different.
I mean, it's
from
cool
other
card art,
Awilix
at least.
skins. So excited about this one again. Royal Champion, part of the
Looks cool to me.
adventure bundle
cool to me.
that we'll talk about in a little bit. Saw this one earlier on, Shadowclaw Bastet.
Okay, not bad.
Looking a little bit, this is teased as well, a little bit of a
This
spoiler.
is what Bastet should look
International
like.
Cat Day
I actually
just came and went.
would prefer this
Happy
as a
birthday to all the
remodel
cats.
for
Is
like
that-
her
is it
skins
like every
than
international
like
cat's birthday?
just
Is
a
that how that
skin
works?
for her.
I
That's
don't
really
know.
how Bastet should
All
look.
I know
it's
is
way
that
better.
dogs are better, and I won't apologize.
Way
Riptide
better.
Poseidon. Up next on the list on the
That straight up looks like
My
hi-rez
man's
pretty
looking
hair.
Clean.
That straight up
Shaved
looks
the
like pretty
beard
hair.
down, looking really good. Hair flowing, power coursing through him. Got a little Polynesian look, man. I'm stoked about this skin. You guys should be too. Abyssal Acolyte Agni next up on the list. Couple mages. Is that
That's
another
cool.
mage next? Oh man, this
Holy
is a good
freaking
patch,
skins.
guys.
How many skins
Good
can you
work,
put into
everybody
one
on the
patch?
art
Holy
team. I see
cow.
that you no Zeus skin this time around. A little bit of a spoiler, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Abyssal Acolyte.
Pretty cool.
Excuse me, Agni.
Take it.
He's very devout in his abyssal.
Could have some
worshiping.
cool
At
effects.
least the right
Pretty
head
gross,
is. My
actually.
goodness, look at that. Then Warp Tech Giannis. This one I'm also
Oh
really
my
stoked
God,
about. Very
how many
similar to a Zeus skin, actually. The
skins,
Sky Tech,
son?
I believe the name of that one. This one, super cool. Wait until you see the effects
Jeez.
on here. Also have a couple cool things to do.
That
with
looks
this skin,
just like
so
the Zeus skin,
you're
which
in
is
for a
not my
treat.
favorite Zeus skin.
Not as much of a treat, though. in
Not a
my
big
mind.
fan.
As Sunny Chibi Amaterasu.
I don't know. I don't like it.
I'm going to keep it real with you.
This,
chat.
though.
I lost my mind when I saw this skin.
Oh,
when you
God.
see the things this skin does, you will also lose your mind. It
God,
is so
anybody
cute
but AMA, though.
that
It's
you would
just,
better call someone and make sure you're safe. Look
just-
at how cute. Okay, nope, we'll get into it
I
later.
just
It's
hate
fine.
AMA. Oh, my heart.
I will compose myself now and
doesn't
be ready for
matter.
that
I hate
when
her.
the time comes. The time now, though, is to send it over to Pon Pon and just the best caster we could ever ask for. It's Graham Hindu Man Hadfield. Clap it up, everybody.
All right.
I mean,
Claps for him, dude.
I don't know why we need to do that because everybody already knew that at home anyway, so it's no different than usual. Pon is joining me once again for balance, bug fixes, and
Hi, Pon.
excitement, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Yeah,
Pon,
pretty
anything
good stuff.
exciting to look forward to this week?
I think there's some interesting balance changes that people will enjoy. There's kind of a spicy item for hunters that like more of the attack speed option.
Okay.
So we can get there. We'll
You
get
always
there.
worry me when you talk about
Okay.
hunters. I don't know why. It's just maybe season 4 all over again. In we
Yeah,
go then
season
with bug
4
fixes. We're
always.
going to start things off with matchmaking. First of all, players
Hey.
now shouldn't be set to high priority for the next queue multiple times in a row
Thank
while
you.
waiting for a match.
Yep.
Hooray! Why
There's-
was that happening?
Appreciate
I
it.
mean, we just implemented a whole new matchmaking system. We're
Okay.
obviously keeping our eyes on it and tuning things to make sure that things are working well.
Thanks.
And there's some cases where, yeah, you would get this pop-up, and then you get the pop-up again, you get the pop-up again. Now, if you get that pop-up, you should really be highest priority for the next match.
Thanks.
Okay, now on top of that as
You
well,
should
just so
really
you're
be
aware,
the
we're
highest
still gonna
priority
continue
now.
some monitor matchmaking
Thanks.
too. There's still
Oh, yeah.
improvements that may still happen if required to the
Gosh.
state of matchmaking. So keep an eye on it, keep giving the feedback. It is good to get the feedback,
Yep.
positive or negative. On top of that, Spectator. We're fixing an issue where buff icons were not showing up next to gods on Spectator UI.
Okay.
Yeah, fixed.
Spectator
it.
UI things.
It's there.
Yeah. And on top of bug fixes, we've also got
Okay.
Pele, fixing an issue where Pele would hear the drum sound from Magma Rush more often than
I
intended.
believe that's actually in the hotfix. I think that is
Oh.
live.
Fancy. Okay, well,
So
that's good to know.
she was activating drums and they just stack, and if she got CC'd at a certain point, they just keep stacking forever. So it got very loud.
Lovely.
Very quick.
Circuit as well, we fixed an update
right.
there, the targeter for her Deathbane ability on the Dread Queen skin. Now, that's just a small little list of some of the balance and bug fixes, but if you've been noticing the patch notes when they do get released, there's a hell of a lot more on there, so you can always go through and check to see
Bug
that
fixes
those are.
It's actually quite a big list.
They generally are, for the most part. On then to items. Not
First
too
one, at
many
least,
this
was
week,
important.
Just 2. And it looks like we're looking at, first up, Blackthorn Hammer is going to be the first one. Increase the health from 350 to 450, but decrease the physical power from 30 to 25. Cost staying the same?
Yes, cost staying the same. Everything else about it staying the same as long as it's not listed here.
Blackthorn
And the goal
Hammer
here
is a weird
that
item
we've
anyway.
seen this item get picked up a little bit. People are
a
kind of
weird
experimenting with
item.
it, and we actually see them succeeding when they pick it up. But people just generally look at this item and go, it's not powerful enough, it's not strong enough. So we're focusing its identity more
But
towards
the
being
health
pure
is
tank
decent,
items,
though.
giving it extra health, but taking away some of that physical power that causes it to be a bit more
Still a
offensive
weird
oriented,
item, but
allowing you
like
to really
it's
pick this
good
up
as
if you
far
wanna
as
be that
like
front
straight
line
up
warrior,
just
getting
getting
CDR
health
where the mana
goes.
generation just keep on
So.
going. Just give this item more of an identity.
Sure, because it was kind of a catch-22 of like, well, I want damage or I want
Yeah.
tankiness, and I don't get both from this.
Still
I get
a weird
bit of
item.
each.
Yeah, so now it's much more tank focused.
Okay, we'll see how that works out. Silver Branch Bow, the next one on the list,
This
the
one's
Hunter one.
exciting.
The cost
Okay.
of this is going to be 2,200 gold,
So a
and it's going to
change,
build
okay.
from Hunter's Bow.
So it's a tier 3 now. It's not a tier 2 anymore.
First thing to mention. Then on top of that, it's going to have 20 physical power, 25% attack speed, 10 physical penetration, and a passive. The passive is for each 0.02 attack speed. 0.02? Yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
0.02 attack speed, you go over cap, which is 2.5 for you fans at home. You gain 1 physical power. Example, if you will go to 2.6 attack speed, you instead would go to 2.5 plus 5 physical power. How high of a cap can you really go?
We were kind of messing around with some builds, and I think Apollo, especially with like a kind of heavier attack speed build with the passive proccing, was getting something like 45 power.
Really?
So-
anywhere up to 45 power, technically, I guess the Ramas, the Artemises of the
Yeah.
world can make use of this.
So anyone who generally has like an attack speed stim and often is limited from building these attack speed items because eventually you go over cap if the stim is active.
Yeah.
You can now pop that stim and it's actually quite beneficial for you.
Yeah.
You get that extra physical power directly when you need it when you have your highest attack speed and generally other benefits.
It's
on
kind
that.
of like
it does have pen
it
and
sounds
a bit of
like
power
a
in it too,
build
so that will
stupid
help out with
item
this.
and get
Let's see how
rewards for
Silver Branch
building
Bow does,
stupid,
isn't it?
but
2200
still not
gold.
nearly as good
That's
as
high-end.
just building
It's not
right to
onto
begin
God.
with.
It doesn't take long anymore. See how
Yeah,
quick
we're
and
just going through this.
through Runty on her is getting a
Doesn't
buff,
sound
right? On
worth
her
it
buff.
all.
He's just consistently kind of underperformed. We've adjusted him a few times, and he
I
hasn't
love
really
Anhurt.
come back in any substantial way.
He's a
Adjustments
good
before
mid-lane
haven't
hunter
moved
when he
his win
comes
rate
into
too
the
much.
meta.
And so we're going to go with a much more powerful buff here, directly increasing his power. Also making it sure that this ability, when you actually were looking at it and kind of figuring out what the ability does,
Yeah.
you're channeling these beams that are doing these spears that are doing a lot of damage. But you are often better off just basic attacking. Like from a pure
Sure.
DPS perspective, you're just better off basic attacking. So people are just using it for the CC immunity. We're buffing the damage to really compete against using basic attacks. In the
10
late game.
damage is
Especially
like
for
a
him,
big
who's
deal
kind of
for
more ability
Anhurt because he
focusing,
throws
he
like
has,
freaking
the
10 of
Pele
them.
that can do a
That's
ton
like
of
100 damage buff.
And then the
You know what I'm
ult, which
saying?
really kind of screams
like a big
ability, but
deal.
He was better off basic attacking before.
So as you can see on the screen, 10 extra damage on Desert Fury, but also we've increased the physical power scaling of this too. It was 20%, it's now
That's
going to be
also a
30%,
big
so it's
deal.
really going to swing now.
Yeah, that's a.
That thing is gonna hurt.
Total, I believe.
That's gonna
Yeah.
hurt.
Good.
Pretty
good.
substantial.
That's gonna
Expect to see
hit
some
you
more
real
Anhers in your
good.
games, and someone else that you've been seeing quite a bit of in your games is Artemis. She's next on the list. Still target, adding an additional
Okay.
audio sound that plays on successive basic attacks. If her passive triggered on the hit, the enemy was CC'd. So this is to give away her passive a little bit more, make it a bit more understandable.
Yeah,
and readable.
that's
Yes,
good
it's
scaling for the
basically to
Anhurt
make sure
stuff,
that you
though.
know
Oof.
when it's triggering. Like it's kind of it's pretty obvious when you do things
Yeah,
like
plus-
your 3 and you have
plus
that slow effect
80
on them, you know
damage
that
and
you're
plus
getting increased
80%
damage.
scaling.
When other
Yeah,
players have applied
exactly.
CC that you might not have noticed, and you start seeing that the damage numbers hitting
Exactly.
higher,
Right.
you won't necessarily know if that was because you're passive or just because you're hitting for a lot of damage. So now you actually have
Physical
a little
power
bit of
and
audio
your
feedback
incoming.
whether
Dude,
the
that's
hate
how I
is
built him because I
passive.
played a mid lane anyway.
After
His ult
Artemis,
is
he's
gonna
on to
swing.
bees, and guess what? He's on the list. Don't worry. Baron Samedi is
Nerfing
going to
him
get a little
again?
bit of a nerf
Yep.
this patch to life of
Good.
the party. First of all, we're going to decrease the amount of hysteria per hit that you're going to take from this from 8 to 5, so not
Okay.
going to stack as often. But we've also increased the self-slow while casting from 40% to 60%.
Oh,
So
wow.
less mobility on this ultimate.
Wow,
yeah, so
that's
less mobile and also
real
more difficult to pull
slow.
people in if you haven't built any hysteria.
Wow.
Chasing, yeah.
Yeah, we've adjusted him quite heavily to now where
Interesting.
he's in a much healthier spot. He released very strong. We've toned him down.
Yeah, that's
going
gonna
to
be
there's still a frustration
harder to
factor of
catch people
feeling
up
too
when you're
hard to
trying
escape.
to suck.
And he's a character that really wants to build hysteria on targets. He really wants to punish you for having the hysteria built up. But the ultimate built it so quickly that you're getting the full pull strength basically immediately, without having to do any work prior. So now if you just use it on someone that doesn't have any hysteria, it's going to be a lot slower to pull them in because you're not getting the stronger pull speed for getting over the hysteria threshold.
Gotcha.
And you're going to be moving slower, so it's going to be harder to keep people in range while you're trying
Whatever.
to build up the
I'm
hysteria.
down.
So adding
I
more
don't play
counter
Baron
A
anyway.
little bit more
He's just
chance of you
annoying.
escaping it now.
I think he's a better
overall.
solo laner than a mid
That's
laner to
Baron.
begin with.
On
So.
to Kernanos next. He's going to get a bit of a buff this patch. The Wild Hunt, it was scaling mana costs. It's now just going to be 100.
Mana
at
costs
all
are not
ranks,
real
so
buffs. It's a
bit
fake
of a mana
buff.
reduction there makes it a little bit more viable to use, I guess.
Yeah, there'll be less situations where it's been an extended
Fake
team fight,
news.
which you can kind of get into with that lifesteal on his one,
Yeah.
or it's kind of the slow to kite people. He'll have more opportunities to not be out of that mana range to actually get the ultimate off.
After that, it's on to another nerf that people have been asking for. Chernobog is going to
There
get a little
you
bit of
go.
a touch again
Chernobog
this
is
patch.
pretty
Crystallized
strong.
Curses decrease the base damage of the initial hit. It was 70 to 190. It's now
Okay.
going to be 70 to 170.
So
So
not the level
high-end
one.
change there. And Living Nightmare, we've decreased the
bad.
mitigation scaling from this. It did go up to 40% at max, but start at 20. It's now still going to go up to 40, but it's going
Okay.
to start at 10. So it takes a little bit longer to ramp up. You're really going to get late game
Okay.
to get those
That's
mitigation.
better at least.
Yeah, so overall in the early game, really the strength is that he is ulting across the map.
a bit
with
better.
that's 20% mitigation, which is really hard to fight against. So we're toning that down, bringing it to 10%, so there's more counterplay option. In the late game, he really does need that 40% to really actually make use of this ability, because if you jump in,
Okay.
it's very easy for teams to collapse, especially because they've built
Those are
items at that
decent
point.
at least.
So we still
I
feel like
still think
40%
he's going to be
is
very
in the late
strong,
game.
but at least that's
But
like a
his
step
late
in the
game
right
burst
direction.
upon arrival was a bit too high, toning down the
not
total
too bad.
damage of the crystallized
Decent
Fringes
change
will
for
help
him
with that.
on both sides of
That's
this.
Chernobog. Next up, Fenrir with a little bit more love. Fenrir is now going to get a very interesting buff. Unbound runes. Fenrir now gains 3 runes for getting an assist. So he used to get all his runes when he got a kill.
Yep.
Now he's going to get 3 for just assisting. So almost like Kali-esque.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of these passes that are like on kill, where
Right.
it's very, very frustrating
like it.
to lose the kill and then therefore lose all this benefit that you could be getting. You should still be going for them. Fenrir has a lot of ways to actually secure the kill on his own.
Sure.
But losing it to a teammate when it was actually the right call for that teammate to take the kill, especially, you still get some benefit. You just need to get 2 basic attacks in to actually get everything else up.
Quick question about that, though, as well. You should be able to answer. Hopefully, I'm going to put you on the spot. If you've already got 2 runes already
Yes,
and then
you'll
you
go
get an
to
assist, would it go to 5?
Yes.
Cool. So if you could actually time it nicely and like run away from a target after getting 2 basics, going,
Yep.
he's dead anyway, I'm ready for the next guy.
Yep,
Okay.
you can do that.
That's
Interesting.
kind of nice. That's Fenrir.
I
Pele
love
then,
Fenrir,
The buffs
so-
that people are a little bit concerned about, potentially,
Pele,
which is definitely
okay.
a discussion subject here.
Yep.
First of all, it's going to be the increased base health. It was 440. It's going to
Okay.
go up a little bit to
620
460.
base health, who cares?
Pyroclast, we're going to decrease the cooldown of this. It was 40. It's going to be 13. So 1 second off that. And
Okay.
finally, Magma Rush. Increase the movement speed from 20% to 30%. So these are very, very small little
Okay.
adjustments. So
That
it should
one's the
help
most
her, but at the same
concerning
time,
to
not
me.
make her ridiculously strong.
Yeah, so I think the point here is it's actually kind of nice to have a god that statistically had, like, our last few have kind of really statistically quite powerful.
Right.
She's actually underperforming across a lot of different metrics. So she's not immediately coming into the game
Sure.
and just frustrating players with her raw power. And that's partially due to the fact that she's actually quite readable. You can actually see what's about to happen to you. You know when the knockups are coming. You know when she's ulted into you if you need to try and get out. And she has to actually skillfully land all her stuff. So there's a lot
I
of counterplay
feel
available
like
to her.
her
But she is
3
underperforming
was an ability
basically
that
all
didn't
levels across the
really
board.
need to be
We're
touched
not looking
because
to
I feel
bring
like
her
her
into like
other
the P territory.
abilities are
We
the
just want
ones
to
that
give
are
her a
kind
little
of
bit of
garbage.
adjustments to make sure that she can actually perform well. So we
But
targeted
I guess
a slight
that
increase
means
to her
that
survivability with 20
now
base
you
health,
just
a
level
slight
your
increase her mobility to get around the map, which is a
3
revert
and
of
just,
the
like,
PTS nerf that we did
Yeah.
to
go
the
Transcendence
unamped
and
version of
stuff?
the 3. As well as lowering the cooldown on the 1. So not increasing the direct burst. We don't want to give her additional burst because she can be quite bursty.
Yeah.
But allow her to more often get that double hit off, or if she's just looking to poke more freely.
It is one of those characters as well. It's going to take a little bit of play to get used to, so it's
Yeah.
going to take some time for them
She
to
definitely
become
didn't
good
need
with
a
this god, so maybe
nerf.
not overdoing
For
it to
those of
begin
you out
with
there
is
that thought she needed a
And
nerf,
these are just small
I'm
adjustments
a
that'll
bit
help her out
concerned
overall.
about
That's Pele.
your level
Onto
of
another
play.
potential meta nerf. That
I don't
people
know
may be
about
asking
buffing
for.
her
Najah.
3, 'cause I
He
think
got
that
a
was probably
lovely
one of her
little
best
change to his
abilities.
passive the other week,
But she
and now it's
definitely
time
did
for it
not
to
need a
be touched
nerf.
a little bit there. We're going to decrease the base power from 1 per stack to 0.5
Yeah,
per
thank
stack
the
on
Lord.
Righteous Spirit.
Thank
so
the
obviously
Lord.
he was getting a lot of power
That's
in the early
just
game,
freaking
and that's where he
broken.
was really shining for the most part. I mean, his mid and late was still the same way, but
Yeah.
the early game is where the impact was. Is that one of the reasons we're doing this?
That's the main reason. It's 20
God.
power in the early game really makes it so that clearing is much quicker, games are
That
much
might-
more impactful. Even
that
with
might
just
make
walking and
him
basic
a
attacking,
lot
you
more
feel that 20 power
manageable.
in the early game
Because
heavily.
like we
And the
oh my
movement
god,
speed
there's
already
game
good enough
day.
things to really carry this passive out to the
Woo!
late game. So we're toning down the power to make sure that Naja still has this kind of early game pressure
Okay.
due to the good clear from the one, but not something that's overbearing.
Okay. And last,
He's still gonna be
but certainly not
strong,
least
but
on
that's a
this,
good
is gonna
step
be
in the
a
right
tough
direction.
nerf here. Glyph of Pain. This ability no longer triggers any item effects. The Glyph of Pain was triggering it?
Yeah, so Glyph of Pain, it basically means any auto attack that goes through it or ability does a little extra bit of ability damage.
Right.
And that procced ability effects. And so this caused things like, for example, Soul Reaver. Every basic attack would proc Soul Reaver.
Gotcha.
Turning into basically a super chins. And
What's
so
wrong with that?
It's a bit powerful. It's especially at the top level. It's quite potent. So this is similar to the other things we've done with abilities, where we
Okay.
look to if the item interactions are breaking things or causing unfun scenarios or making something perform way above what
Sure.
we expect it to. Sometimes we'll adjust the item. Sometimes we'll just adjust the offending ability. In this case, we've adjusted the offending ability.
That's
Well,
fine.
that's it for all the items.
That's fine, I
gods,
guess. It's
and
kind of a
tactics that I
specific
have for you
scenario.
here. Keep an eye out for the full patch
So,
notes
like,
coming out eventually when
It's a very
the patch
weird
is
specific
released.
thing.
But for now, it's time to get rid of me and well,
that was-
cue the video.
The patch notes changes? Okay. Triumphant return. Are they doing another PvE mode? Wait, what? Oh no, we're doing. Royal Champion Oelix. New what?
Welcome back, everybody.
So
Sorry you had to
they're
deal with
bringing back
Pon,
the
but
old joust
at least
map?
you got Hindu Man to hang out with you, right?
For
We'd all
what?
be so lucky. We just previewed the
Is it
adventure
actually a
in that
3v3
spot. And
game
before we
mode?
get into it, I do want to introduce to you guys someone that's been working very hard behind the scenes. Our brand
confused.
director, hi-rez Ryu, aka Richard. Richard, first of all, welcome to the update show. It's
Thanks
crazy
so
you haven't
much.
been on here
Thanks so
with
much.
me yet.
Yeah, I've been behind the scenes, just working, jumping to meetings and meetings.
That's right. He's
No, it
busy.
is.
Busy man. Richard is a very, very busy man. Richard, I just want to talk a little bit about your history
I'm
and
a
what
little
you
bit
do. I mean,
confused.
you've
Yeah.
been working in MOBAs for over a dozen years. You were most recently working at Riot for League of Legends. Talk to me about what your impact has been from your perspective on Smite.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mainly focus on strategy, and I touch a little bit of everything, but I take credit for everything, I guess. But I don't really do anything. AJ does
He
all
lets
the
me
work.
take all the credit.
Yeah, no doubt. So the big things are, like with AJ, I collaborate with him on the Gods calendar. It was really exciting to work with him to get some gods that I personally wanted for a long time, including Baron, Pele, and, spoiler alert, good old Hera.
Yep.
So I've been waiting to get my queen into Smite, so super excited about that.
It's going to be, we're going to
Okay.
actually be previewing Hera in just a little bit. So just after the adventure, you'll get your first
Alright.
peek at her. Richard, we hear a lot, since you're brand director, that I think
kind
you're
of
the
interesting.
best person to ask this to. We hear it all the time. Every game gets it, but so does Smite. Smite is dying. That's what we hear it all the time.
Yeah, so-
What do you have to say about that?
No. Real talk, real talk. Smite is doing an amazing, has an amazing year thus far, and we're doing so well. Looking at the Games of Gold thing we had for Xbox, we had the most new users of all time ever on Xbox, so it's great to see. And
Smite's still the
looking at
only
future,
MOBA on Xbox,
Just
right?
this
Like-
week, we hired a technical director
So.
solely on Smite, and right now he's focusing on quality of life features, making it stable.
So.
And just 4 weeks ago, we hired the release manager from Fortnite, and he's really
Release
focusing
manager?
on project management.
I don't
and
really
getting
know
us
what these
aligned
things are
to
doing,
really focus
so.
on the key things that make Smite grow. So it's exciting to see.
That's
Exciting
really
to see,
awesome. Yeah, getting a lot of new talent involved and trying to make Smite.
And then we're going to keep
even better.
growing too.
yeah.
Smite has about 100 people dedicated solely on Smite, and
Okay.
to get prepared for next year and the big ideas we want to do. We're going to keep growing the team.
I just posted a whole bunch of jobs in my alumni Facebook group. I'm getting tons of hits. It's really exciting.
Nice.
I've been working with Richard's team a lot on all these.
Well, I
big
mean,
design
we
features,
knew that
all the
Smite was
recent
making
God
a
updates
ton
and
of money,
adventures.
so-
Richard's team is what made them really get to the next level, and we're really excited
So,
about
I
this.
mean, I guess that's a good
Speaking
thing,
of
right?
adventures,
You
let's
need
talk
the
about
game
the
to
most
make
recent
money in
one,
order
then,
to fix things.
well,
So you hope that things
it's
get
new
fixed,
and it's
so-
old in the best of ways, right? The
Basically.
old
Both.
classic joust map AJ, you're the joust main, right? Like that's all. This is where you
Yes.
We
you
made it
all your
solely
head.
for him, so you can actually compete.
Right.
Yes.
I have so much experience on this map that people don't think I should be able to do my job. That I've spent so much time on this map.
So this map should be just perfect, right? Like
You know,
you got
this
it all
map,
locked in.
it has some pros and some cons, but all designs do.
Sure.
Every type of game mode has certain things you can excel at and certain things you can't. And the old joust is really fun. It really does. It brings a lot of different strategies than the current joust.
Right.
There's a lot of things you can still do the same, but you have a very different jungle layout. The starting meta, which jungle camp you start at, and the time you make your rotations. Those really hard like angle turns
Is it
there,
literally just
and
like
the way you can gank people
is
and cut them off their
literally
lane
the
because the
adventure
blocks,
just
the
like
geometry is so big
regular
there you can't
joust?
escape easily. There's a lot.
Are they literally
a
just
lot of
bringing
hot
it
plays you
back
can
to
make on
do
this
regular
map.
joust?
Well,
Is
Richard,
that
as you
actually
mentioned, we
what
had
it
a lot of
is?
new players coming from that Games with Gold promotion and things like that. So some of our people watching out there
Is
may
that-
not
is that
have ever
it?
played on this joust map. They're equal lanes of the jungle to each side. That's what you're seeing right now. And then in the middle is your traditional joust lane.
Right.
Definitely
the
a
entire
different starting
adventure, is just
strategy,
regular
but no
joust?
Bull Demon King, anything like that. This is kind of
Correct.
a much more, just brawl it out sort of style.
It makes sieging a really important part of the map. It's also, as you can see, this is where the name Joust came from. If
Yep.
you're a newer Smite player, it started as a map themed around it, and we kept the name as we changed the theme. So yeah, this is a really great travel back for those players who are joining us new. Like we've had so many new players that never gotten to check this out before, so now you get to see it.
And Christian's team did a great job of updating the artwork. So it's the
Oh, it looks
joust that
great.
you know, but it's artwork that's fresh. It's great. The environment art is
It's not
beautiful.
those weird people in the crowd from
Hey
the old
man,
joust
they're still
map.
people. They're still people. Don't judge them. Don't judge
Feel a
them.
little
They've had
bit
a tough life
awkward.
to get
It's
to
all
this
a
point.
lot of,
Recycling
a lot of
old
AJs
content as
dying
new
back in the
content, I
day.
guess.
It was updated
Oh,
one
man.
time a while
I don't
back,
know,
but
this is
I was
boring.
really impressed at what our team could do with it with a little.
I'm
touch-ups here,
surprised
let's
they
be honest.
opted to
It's
call
nice, like,
this.
it's not. It's bright
an
in all the right
adventure
areas, but this little area,
instead of
like
just,
very
like-
dim but lit by those fires, and it has the right sort of
like
it's got a
making
shading that I
it,
think
you know,
the
they have
old-
like
the
the
old
game
map
mode
didn't
of the
really have
day,
a
like
character
making
to
it the game mode of the
almost
day
that
for
the
a
old
week
map
or
didn't really
something. Like,
seem
it
to have.
feels
And this
weird
one,
to call
I
it
think
an adventure.
It looks phenomenal.
When the adventures have
talk
always
to me
been
about some
like
of the new
something
customization
new.
options that are coming with this adventure.
Yeah, so with this adventure, you'll be able to earn a new type of player achievement, which you'll be able to earn a title.
It is
so
an
you can
adventure.
actually
It's
be
an adventure
a
to have
Sir or
memory
Dame,
lane.
and as you can
Like,
see here,
I
this,
like this
Artemis on
map
the screen
better
is Sir
than the current
back
joust
to the
map,
pawn,
personally, but like,
I
Of
think.
course, yeah.
Thanks, Pawn.
it's
for
just
the
weird that
names,
they
as
would
he
just
always
be
is.
like, hey, check out the
Uh,
new adventure,
Yeah,
but the
so
new
you can
adventure
actually
is
get
just a
that
regular
if you
joust
play the
BB3
adventure
old
and
map.
unlock
know?
through the quests,
I
you
don't
will be able
know.
to
That's
unlock
just-
that for your
it's
character
just
account.
weird.
You can show that off in other game modes.
But I
So
guess
keep on
if they're
that-
bringing
keep holding that
back
in your account forever, be a really interesting.
joust,
Oh,
like
really?
this joust
Yeah.
map,
So you can use this in other game modes. It won't just stay in
This
the adventure. That's really, really
could
cool. So you can be knighted for
Yes.
be
for all future
a
game
wink,
modes,
you
wink,
sure can, if you're a
nudge,
true joust
nudge.
and everything like
We
that.
can
That's
bring
really,
back
really
old
cool.
maps. Next
what was
adventure
the
is gonna be
decision-making process like, Richard,
domination.
to decide
Wink,
to bring
wink,
back
nudge,
this
nudge.
classic?
Old
You know, we wanted
my
to do
conquest
something
maps.
that's
Wink,
just
wink,
long
nudge,
requested,
nudge.
a crowd
Like
favorite,
that's kind of what it
something
feels
that's
like to
homage
me.
to the
And if they're
fans.
not
So I
trying to
think that's
say this
great.
is
It's
them
the core
making
gameplay
adventures
that we
old
love.
Smite game modes,
And
then
you
I'm not
can,
exactly
play
sure
this. You can still
what
play
this
the old
is.
joust, the new joust, however you want to do it.
Why not both, right?
Why
Why
both?
not both?
So-
Yeah.
Exactly. AJ, you can only queue for one joust though. What do you? Which one are you going to choose?
You know,
We all know that's all you queue for. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this one for a little while. You know, it's gonna be back. I'm gonna get my time in.
Limited time only.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
for
Gotta
sure.
take
Wait,
advantage while
what's
you
your
can.
Yeah.
Bacchus all day?
I mean, you know, Bacchus. You know, you'll be able to play Bacchus finally because ranked
Yeah.
joust you never get to play Bacchus because
true.
first pick ban every time.
Bacchus Rangdas right now, man.
Yeah,
That's the good stuff.
There are going to be some interesting comps. Like I said, sieging is so important here, so you'll have to be even more
Okay,
flexible.
so we
with your-
really
with your
still. I
team
mean, it's
composition.
literally
If
it's
you
just
love to
joust.
play
It's just
Chang'e and
joust. We
Bacchus,
still
this
talking
is
about
the
this.
mode
It's
for you.
literally
I
just
will let
joust.
you
It's
know
nothing
that right
new.
now.
Just joust.
We already talked about this Sir and Dame sort of customization options for your player name. What other sorts of features can you get by playing this adventure?
So first of all, you will see that we made a couple environmental changes to the map. We changed
Yeah.
this side of the map to give it some better asymmetry, so you can tell which side of the map you're on. We're also going to have a whole.
Can I get some resident
set of
sleepers in the
quests
chat,
and
man?
achievements you can earn for playing
Some
the adventure.
resident sleepers,
You're going to be able
please.
to unlock chalices as they rank up. You'll be able to earn all sorts of cool
Holy.
exclusive skins from Smite history, as
cool.
well as a couple new really cool customization features. The Royal Champion loading frame, loading screen, and avatar, I think. So all themed around that really nice new Willick skin, which I'm
Nice.
sure we'll look at soon.
I was just about to tell you. Yeah,
Wait,
again,
a Willix or
Royal
Willis?
Champion.
A willish.
A willish, yes.
Yes.
A willish.
You know.
Ish.
I
Got it.
pronounce god names wrong every now and then, so I'm cool with the Willix.
I know it's we're up to 90 something. You know, it's hard to keep.
I keep mispronouncing the God 99 we're working on, so I got to correct you.
That's right.
I
Yeah,
always
correct
say,
you.
as long as the god says their name correctly, we're good.
We're good.
The rest of
Yeah,
us,
that's right.
However
That's
you
right.
want to say it.
We're just mortals, guys. I mean, they are the gods, and a Willish, her new skin that comes with this adventure, gonna be looking really good. Speaking of new gods and things of that nature,
let's talk about Hera. That
You
could be
mentioned her
interesting,
originally.
at least.
Our queen, I'm super excited about Hera, so I think what back in November we were debating about
I
the
like
joust
this
calendar,
guy.
and
I like his
I was like,
excitement, and he has
as a
good
player,
teeth.
And looking at
And he's
Reddit,
pretty
people
dang
been asking
handsome.
for Hera for a long time. Why?
Pretty sure he's
haven't we
also
done
wearing
it?
Jordans.
And truly, it's just really hard to define.
I like
that
this guy.
kit.
This
So we
guy's got
spent,
style, dude. This guy's
a
important.
number of months really developing that character,
And he knows it.
analyzing what does it really mean, because in mythology there's a lot of stories about her,
Yeah.
but they're sometimes not really fully fleshed out. So what really stuck with me is the Iliad. And then, oh man, she's a boss in the Iliad, where she controls, really influences Aphrodite and Athena to do her bidding. She also has powers to polymorph people. There's just so many things you can do with Hera. So
He
I'm just
sounds like
excited
he's
to get my
constantly
queen into the
trying to
game.
sell you.
I really
something
need to
that suits you.
read the Iliad.
I feel that. I feel
A
that.
little
It's working.
backstory
It's
for me. I
working.
took Latin class in high school, and I was going to take AP Latin, but the AP Latin class, all you did was translate the Iliad.
It's
Like that.
in the Aeneid.
Yeah.
I took AP Latin.
Sure, yeah, and so it was. I went in and they told me that, and I
Yeah.
was like, I'm dropping this class
Right.
because I do
It was
not want to do
I
that.
failed that AP test real hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of those ancient texts, there's a lot of them. And Hera
Okay.
does a lot of things, right?
Right.
We have
Sure.
to really look at this really wide
She does a
story,
lot
how
of
we can put that
smiting
on
of
4
people that,
villains
you
or
know,
5
her
kind of
husband
passing.
had sex
So
with.
we took the extra time,
Instead of
really
just
thought
taking
about
it
Hera,
out on her
talked to the
husband.
artist. We want to make her gloriously regal, right? She is the queen of the gods. Like Zeus is the god of thunder, Pele is the god of volcanoes, fire, but she is the goddess of gods, right? So that's an interesting theme to work with.
Sure.
But I think we've got some really cool
I
ways
bet
to
Twitch chat
make
right
it
now
happen.
is telling us to show Hera. I bet
Oh.
you they're telling us to
okay.
stop
Then
talking. If I can
yeah.
imagine.
We can talk as
Can
we show you guys the concept.
Yeah, let's get
art.
it up there while we talk.
We can't
There
we
we
can't
go,
show you
yeah.
anything about the
Yeah.
abilities quite
Seems
yet.
about
but
right.
A lot like we've done for Pele in the past, where we're going to show you guys this concept art, and we're very much looking
Seems
for
about
your
right.
feedback. Is this what you expected to see
Yeah.
from Hera and Smite? Things of that nature. But
Seems right
I
to
mean,
me.
you were talking about that regal nature, AJ, and it looks like that's exactly what she's got going on.
Right, we wanted to make it
That's a
sure
good
that just in her
interpretation
visual
of
appearance,
Hera.
You can tell she's a powerful, strong leader,
Yeah.
a ruler.
She's
Yeah.
older and like
and that
queenly
she is
and
just and
Yeah.
fair, but
Yeah.
that means she can be a very strong ally or a
I'm down.
very intimidating enemy.
Sure.
And I think we kind of the artist did a great job of defining what beauty means for Hera. And
You think
taking
she
the
seems kind of
elements
angry?
from-
Hera's
from
pretty-
lore
she's a
where
pretty angry
she's-
goddess.
has
She's pretty
peacocks
angry.
around her.
She has a lot of
cows
reasons
and
to be
nature
angry.
often around
Although, to
her.
be fair, I'm
You
pretty
can
sure she
see
takes
from
it out
her
on the
s-
wrong
her,
people a
dress,
lot of the time.
There's quick
But, you know.
homages to the peacock look. It's just, I think they did an incredible job with the colors
That's
and
good.
everything.
I like it.
I'm excited to see the character that I've always wanted in the game.
Yeah. She looks great. One of the only words I remember from Latin class, peacock, is pawo.
Oh yeah,
Multiple peacocks, pawona.
Aggro the education.
it's
That's
funny
right.
what you randomly remember.
Oh, I know.
I always
The more
remember
you
walk,
know.
ambulo, ambulare.
Oh yeah.
because I'm a walker, right?
Crane, polyspaston, my
wow,
favorite
that's a
Latin
good
word.
Oh yeah, and real talk, we're showing this,
I like it.
the work in progress. It's definitely concept art,
Right.
But we're doing it because we want your feedback. We even though we don't respond to everything because we're always running around, we really listen and read every single thing. Your feedback on Pele helped us make a better goddess.
Definitely.
We spent a lot of time really defining her look and feel.
This guy's voice
including her
is
facial
so
features.
good.
I've been reading the comments about Isis.
Even his laugh is
you're
really
you're right.
smooth.
And then,
This guy is
for
smooth.
future models, we really want to take that time to really make characters that resonate.
I think AJ is
And,
getting slightly uncomfortable
I'm
at how
super
attracted
proud
he is
of
to this
the
man right
team,
now. Look at
the
this.
design
Look at
team.
this. He's like looking into his eyes.
from our community.
An amazing job. The community giving us
Which is
feedback.
I'm falling
clear
for him
part
too,
on the
AJ.
process.
I'm right there
No,
with
so
you.
thank you so
Seriously.
much for
I feel you.
giving
You're
us
on the
feedback.
couch right next to
Positive
him, dude.
and critical feedback, the positive
The
feedback.
power must be
Someone did an amazing
overwhelming
piece.
right
I saw,
now. Look at this.
imagining the
Look at
team
this. Look at that
and,
smile while he
that
talks.
It really made
Look
it
at
better.
that.
So thank you so much for that.
This is
Really good
intense.
stuff, guys, from you at home, and make sure you get your feedback in again for Hera. Thank you guys so
Just
much for
saying.
joining me here. I'm excited to see a little bit more about
They gotta
Hera
cut the cam
in the
somewhere
coming
else.
weeks and things like that. But for now, let's throw it over to Avrin and the one and only,
There's
the
some,
great
there's some
Hindu man.
sensual energy
I
right
can really
there.
get used to that intro every single time from Aggro. I'm not going to lie, it's
Man.
probably some of the best work he's ever done. Joining me on the desk today is one of the most famous people known to
That
you
was
guys in Mixer Chat
crazy.
for the most part. It's hi-rez.
Hi,
Finally, she's been revealed to the wild.
I did it. I'm here.
Have
You
you
let
all
me out.
eventually? Well, what are you here for?
Do I
First of all,
know
what
her
do you do, Ovi,
from
for the ones
Mixer
that
Chat?
don't?
I don't know her. If she's
So
Mixer
I am
Chat.
You drop
Smite.
codes, right?
I do drop codes. I'm a code bot.
Have
I'm
you
a
been
vending
dropping
I've
machine.
codes?
literally,
this
I don't know if
No,
I've ever
for the
actually
show.
opened up
This is
Mixer.
what happens when I'm on Patch Note Show.
Maybe
There's
one
no one there
time.
to drop the codes.
Did
Scotty
you
Bot can't do
hang
it
on,
alone.
Did you normally drop codes?
No.
So why say you would get codes in the future if
I
you
just
were on the
wanted to
show?
think that.
Don't
They
make the
behave.
mistakes they're going to
He
think is going to happen now.
says it.
But they
She
behave.
is
So what does he
Mixer
do
Chat.
other
She
than
just
dropping
is
codes?
Mixer Chat.
So I am the Smite Esports community manager,
Oh,
which means I spend a lot of time lurking in Mixer Chat. I work directly with our community, with our players, the people who tune into our broadcast,
okay.
getting their feedback, trying to make their experience better, working with our orgs, working with our
How
partners.
did I not
to
know
help
who
make
she
that
was?
happen, and I spend a lot of time
If she was
memeing
the
on Smite Pro
esports
Twitter.
community.
That is also pretty true. She does do that. If you do need to get in touch with Ovi, then obviously she's always going to be available. This is
Wait, is
more
she
of
doing
like
the
an
realm
intro,
stuff
so
too?
you know what
No,
she
that's
looks
somebody
like
different.
and how she deals with things, and
somebody
you know who to go to with anything esports related. Esports related, however, this week, what have we got going on?
We have got the E-United Invitational happening this weekend.
Yes, there
Saturday
is.
and Sunday, we have all-star rosters hitting the battleground for an ultimate showdown.
An Ultimate Showdown game. You've already seen the draft rosters, but on Saturday, it's going to be Skillshot versus pros, and
is.
here's the pros that were selected by you, the viewers, to take part in this match. It's going to be Panda Cat, the player that basically doesn't speak or do anything of entertainment apart from by blink. Baskin, who gets carried by his team for 3/4 of the year and has one superstar game. Captain Twig, who used to be pretty good at this game, but then once upon a time made lands all the time and now doesn't. Jeff Hindler, I mean, he just is a bot that dies for the rest of his team. And Deathwalker, who people seem to think is pretty good, but he's not because Skillshot are going to deal with him too. Now, obviously, the Skillshot team, you'll find out later. We could have shown it you now, but I'm not going to. I think it's better to save it for the actual day. When could they tune in to watch this, Alvi?
They can tune in Saturday and Sunday. We start both days at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern.
Eastern
Saturday
on
and
11 on
Sunday,
Saturday,
apparently.
11 on Sunday.
Yes.
But not only that, we've also got World Championships coming up.
We do have the World Championships coming up. We are doing HRX 2018
Yep.
at DreamHack Atlanta this year.
November.
So there's going to be lots of tickets that you can go over and get for yourselves there too. hi-rezexpo.com to get those
16th
tickets.
through
16th to the 18th. You're going to be there, right?
My World
Yes, of course I'm
Championship,
gonna
be there. You'll be in
Alan's
chat?
World Championship.
Yeah. I'll be
Smite
out.
console,
I'll be like
Paladins
IRL
console.
chat. That's
Okay.
what I'll be doing.
Ah,
I'll be out and
that
about.
works,
I'll
that
show my
works.
face.
Not only that, though, there's also the after party. Now, we always mention this because there's only a limited window for the after party tickets. If you're going to be coming there to DreamHack, make sure you go and get your after party tickets too.
Party down like a god.
I don't know where the website is. Do you know?
The after party
It
is
is
sick.
HRX after
I do recommend if you're gonna go to the after
Go,
party.
she's
The after
doing a
party
good
is really
job.
fun.
Awesome. So, and I believe
Just hang out
I think
with,
we
like,
can tell
people
one
on the
more thing
scene and
before we head
stuff.
over for the skin segment.
pretty
You're
cool.
going to be playing this weekend in the
I
Skillshot game, right?
am. I am dragging my Wood 5 self out onto the battleground for what I believe will be my first game of Conquest in Season 5.
What role are you playing?
A support. Of
Okay.
course.
Okay.
What else?
I understand. That makes a lot of sense. Well, that's it for the community and esports section. Make sure you tune in this weekend. You see more of Arvi going forward as well. And send her all the information esports related. If you don't like something or you do like something, let her know. I don't have to listen to it then. Let's head over to Aggro to go through some of those amazing skins, mainly the Chibi Amateurs.
Wait, that's going to be last. We got plenty of skins to get to, though. But thank you for the flawless throw anyways, Graham. I
Okay.
truly appreciate it. Look, before we get to the skins, I do want to say I will be involved in that Skillshot versus pros. And me, Aggro,
Me, Aggro,
look,
you are
I know
Aggro.
that we're going to be in serious trouble. So I'm going to have to call in an alter ego that you guys will get to see tomorrow. Be ready, because that
What's
alter
his
ego
name?
will absolutely dominate. I, on the other hand, would get farmed. Luckily, I'm not playing. The other me is. Anyways, skins time. Let's join us here. Tina, back.
is Aggro
It's been
ever
forever since you've been on the update show. So glad to have you back.
What's that
Chris
guy's
and Ben as
name?
well, who have been holding it down
Hi-rez
in your stead and doing a great job of it.
You're welcome.
Welcome back, Tina. We're glad to have you until you say something you shouldn't have said, in which case, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, this makes sense.
We're back.
We're back. Yeah, exactly. We have arrived. Well, let's get right to it then with the Awilic skin that was part of the adventure. You saw a little bit of a preview of it earlier on. It's Royal
Let's see what
Champion
goes down.
Awilish.
Wheelish.
Cool skin.
Here for this
I wanna
skin.
see what the-
Joust, like we got the new
Lion?
Joust map coming back.
Lion.
She would dominate the Joust map with
Oh,
all
yeah.
this armor. She's looking ready.
Yeah, she is definitely in armor, not like
That's a cool
MMO
skin.
armor, but actual armor for
Jousting
jousting
and battle,
and battle.
and she can do both
Yes.
on the classic Joust
And
map.
she's riding a really cool lion.
That also
His name
has
is
armor.
Charles.
I was gonna say name him.
His name is
Yeah,
Charles.
His
Yeah.
name is
Charles.
Charles.
Tina made
Okay.
sure
Short
he
for
had a name.
Charlemagne.
Ah, okay. I like it. I mean, you need.
He's named after my dad, Charlie.
I thought your dad's name was Charlemagne, and I was
No,
like,
no,
oh my
my
god.
dad's name's Jack.
Damn, your dad has an epic name.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't mount my
Okay.
dad, but
Wow.
Wow, that took
off to a great
exactly
start.
56
Tina, please.
seconds
it's
before it
still
got weird.
he's still a
Anyways.
cute lion.
No, with this joust map, you need someone
Did
that
she
can
just say I
nutritional. You're riding a horse in
don't
order to joust, so I think
mount
Relish is the perfect
my
selection
dad?
for this adventure skin. What kind of inspiration did you guys use to get this armor right and everything about this aesthetic?
Well, a big thing, I mean, the cat is really where we want to go with this. We're like, we want to make a nice bit of armor for her, but what we really wanted to sing with was like, she has this awesome cat,
Alright.
but she doesn't have a lion. And we were like, this could fit in so well. Let's really just dial that up a lot. As far as her armor, it's just a really cool kind of high-level fantasy, like
that is
knight armor.
It is better than the other
but it's like
possibility.
slender because obviously
it
she's female
is.
and stuff like that. So it's
Why
like
is her attack speed
graceful,
so fast? What's
agile,
happening?
But it feels really strong and powerful. But the cat, man.
Why does she
that's,
have no items?
That's really what we really want to work with on this
Oh,
one.
she had popped
It
their
seems
ulti.
like
Okay.
for a
I
lot
was
of
like,
the
seriously,
Woojer
what
skins,
is
this
happening?
where a lot of the focus goes is on the
They had
super.
used their ulti. That's why her
yeah,
attack
absolutely,
speed was up. I
like
was like, this is
it's-
incredible
she's
that a
part of
Willis
the
is
god,
10
right?
game
It's
attack
like a
speed. His base
deal here, right? It's not
2.08.
just a wheeler. You have to make
I was like,
sure
that's
that,
unfathomable.
the cat is
It wasn't.
just as much
The ulti
detail,
was
right?
popped. I'm silly.
Certainly fits alongside her in this one. The audio, it sounds like there's a lot of metal moving. It kind of like fits along with the
Clanking.
theme that she has on, that clanking sort of sound. For you, Chris, what were some of the challenges that this skin brought to your team?
So one thing that's completely unique to this skin at the moment, and we're kind of using it as a test case, Awelish can actually use all of her emotes while she's riding the cat on this skin.
Oh yeah,
And
that's the
then-
cool stuff.
She also has an additional
That's
BXG
cool.
that we've added to this. In order to get that to work, which we've never done before, we had to kind of augment the tech and allow her to wave and clap while she's riding. So we want to see how this works. Obviously, we need to test it in PTS to make sure it's fleshed out. But if it is working and the community really wants it, it's something we could retroactively add to the other skins in
Oh
the
wow!
future.
So this is something that we could see from Renegade Awilish to the
Oh, yeah,
Midnight,
this is the
whatever that
adventure
one's
skin,
called,
right?
the community
Go
one.
play
There's
Joust
absolutely-
3v3 for 10
like,
hours.
That's really awesome. Imagine
Or
like
buy the bundle,
the enemy team
probably.
is sieging against you, and she does that like little spear spin and like rallies the troops. Like you're never defending that siege. Like no chance. No way that's happening.
No.
Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Royal Champion Awilish.
Attack left lane. Defend middle lane. Defend right lane. Attack the Titan. Attack middle tower.
Sounds
You joust
super normal to me.
splendidly. Have you
I don't
been
really
hit
even
in the
hear a
head with
difference, to be
lance
honest.
A few too many times.
It sounds.
I am the winner.
I feel like all the voice packs are
Bravo.
just starting to sound the exact same.
Had joust about enough of all of you.
Is that Athena? Is that who it is?
I just.
I feel like all the voice packs just sound the same now.
Pages over there like, God damn it.
Like I think they keep having the same voice actors doing
I just
like
assume
different
all the time
gods.
that
Now
it's
everybody
shaking
sounds
his
the
head.
He is
exact
actually
same.
laughing at me from freaking over there. I can see you.
I don't know.
That's okay. That's what we're going for, right? It's a joke.
Oh,
that's what
wait,
that's what
the
you
most
want.
important thing,
Yeah.
Charles also talks. Charles is voiced by Chris Sabat. He did me a really nice favor because I asked him like, hey, last minute, Richard really wanted that Charles talks, so could you please be Charles? And he did a really good job with Charles.
So will Charles just like interject whenever
When you
Awilish-
summon him or when you call him, he'll be like, yes, milady, or, I will pamper you now, or...
Perfect. You won't be
You
able to
might
hear that
hear
right
it with,
now.
if Pawn does some stuff.
Right. You won't be able to do that right here with this current build, but during PTS that should be ready, and of course during the live release. So make sure you go check that out.
There's a random
order to hear
Gab in the
Charles
jungle,
and
so.
his kind words to his
very
lady
kind.
Awilish. Next up, Shadowclaw Bastet. This. What was
Still
that
don't
now?
know why they don't just redo.
Ah, yes, your favorite.
Bastet and
Did you
make
celebrate
this, like,
International
a base
Cat Day
skin.
the other day,
I
Tina?
did.
This is just how the
is it
Bastet
every
skin
cat's
should look.
birthday? Is that how that works? Like,
No,
why do we
no,
celebrate
no,
that
it's
day?
just to love them,
So?
even though they probably won't love you back, but just love them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. I'm glad that your cat got some love then on International Cat Day. And certainly here, Bastet got some love with this skin. Her first real, I mean, she looks very feline during her base model and every other
No,
skin
she
that she
doesn't.
has really. But this one is the first true cat sort of persona.
Yes, yeah, she's
We-
cat face.
We wanted to do something that was like, oh man, like it would be really cool with like some of the, the last skin you saw was very kind of like.
Khajiit
high
has
fantasy, or let's do
wares
something that's
if you
kind of
have
in that vein, like
koi.
a thief kind of thing for Bastet. and Tina was really pushing on the cat face. So we're like,
Indeed.
you know what, man? That would be really cool. We have kind of like a pseudo blend now, but we haven't gone like full cat.
Right.
So yeah, Tina super involved in that process.
I just imagine Tina like pounding on the table like she needs a cat face.
She made that little sound, this little squealy sound you heard earlier. That was what we heard. I was like, okay, you got it. We'll make it work.
What are you supposed to do against that? There's no counterplay to that, Ben. Trust me, there is not. Some dark effects though. That thief is that kind of the you mentioned that. That seems like the overwhelming theme here.
A
is
very
this-
shadowy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wait till you see your cats.
Okay.
We saw a little bit of the cats earlier, but I love they are dark. They've got like some wraps on them and that kind of stuff. Like
the materials are very like smoke shadowy kind of feel to them.
Yeah.
Shadow cats.
Shadow cats. As if cats weren't mean enough already.
Just gonna crash the
Now
client
they're-
real quick.
That's
From
a
the
lot of
shadows.
cats.
Good lord. Yo, they sound
Oh my
vicious,
God.
man. Feed your
Okay.
cats,
Some
man.
dark alley fighting right there.
That is this will
Okay.
not be happening to you. Trust me, that won't happen.
And
But
she's got a floofy tail.
I've had Pawn do that to me before on the live
Very
fight.
I wanted to put
On April 1st before,
a
I've had
dagger
Pawn come into my
in the
game and
concept was
summon
so,
100
come in,
cats
she's like a
on me.
thief cat, like you would think that she'd
Like
use
Dev
that tail to,
Command
like,
enter
just
my game and
extra
just murder me
power.
and be a pile of
exactly,
cats.
right? Tina was like, no,
While he
floofy
flies
tail.
around in the air as fast.
Oh, and she was like, wouldn't stop.
How'd
till
that
we just-
happen?
I was like, all right, floofy tail it is. Fine, you're right.
well, hold on. Why can't a floofy tail hold a dagger?
There's a couple of technical reasons why it couldn't work, but the
How
biggest
fast did I die?
voice in the
Instantly.
room was Tina.
Literally instantly.
So we were
I
like,
spawned
all right,
100
she knows
freaking cats on my head.
We'll give her this one.
Look, Ben, you and I both know that she could easily pick up a dagger with that floofy tail
Like-
and stab someone.
We know.
Just
we
saying.
know the
you
truth.
and I have an understanding.
That's not even a joke. That really happened.
Well,
That was
let's
a
see
real
some
thing.
spec here for Shadow Claw Bastet.
Attack middle lane. Attack left lane. Defend middle lane. Attack middle lane. Attack the Titan. I like you. I do what is needed of me. You must be the bounty hunters. Catch
go.
me if you can.
Fine.
More than one way to fleece a fool.
Take it. I'll take it.
I once stole an item and sold it back to the owner.
I'll take it.
They didn't even know.
I'll take it. I'm so I don't care about voice
Usually
packs
you have like
anymore.
backstories for these sorts of things.
To be honest, like I listen to voice packs, and all like my only judgment of voice packs anymore
So
is if I think it's a 1 out of
usually
10,
she,
and if it's not a
she's
1
like-
out of 10.
I wrote
Like
her
if
kind
it's a
of as
2,
like
I go, it's
meaner
fine.
Robin Hood. She cares
If it's
for
a
her
2.5,
tribe,
I go,
where she's
that's
from.
fine.
So she steals.
If it's
from
a
the
1,
rich
I'll be
people
like, this
and
voice
gives
pack
back
sucks.
to her people.
I'm just I have no
So
confidence in
the
voice
king
packs
sends
anymore,
bounty
so
hunters and stuff to claim
they
her.
just all sound.
But she
the,
handles
they
it.
all
She
sound the same.
Floofy
She
tail
does.
and all.
Floofy tail and all. Yeah.
Love it. That's Shadow Claw Bastet. Next up, Riptide Poseidon. This is one that I was really excited about.
Riptide.
He literally
yeah,
looks
he's ripped.
just like
All right,
hi-rez.
I'll say.
I'm
Jesus.
pretty
And
sure
this is not a
they
tie
modeled him.
because he's not wearing anything that could get stained. I mean, I guess his pants could, but he's living in the ocean. Like it's gonna wash off
there it
anyways.
is. There it is.
It's devolving.
You thought we had evolved at all? That implies that we were anywhere but the basement here, Chris. Come on now. This Poseidon, most of the Poseidon, his normal skin, I mean, you look down at his little icon there, big, fluffy beard, white hair. This is young man Poseidon in his prime, basically.
Yep. With all the Polynesian stuff going on, we wanted to think of like, okay, how can we have a younger Poseidon? And we're like, you know what? This would be really cool if we had like a young Polynesian version of Poseidon, right? So he's like over on the Pacific, just kind of like chilling, like and
He's like over in
wait
the
till you see
Pacific.
his creatures that
chilling.
he's brought to come play, man.
Creatures.
Yeah.
It's a manta ray. Dude, that is so cool. Riding the wave there. I love it. That looks really, really awesome. Ooh, I can't wait to see what the Kraken is, but we'll get there in a moment.
Jason Momoa.
tattoos
I'm telling you,
seem
it
to have
looks
a lot of really
way
intricate
more like
detail as
hi-rez
well,
pretty
kind of
hair
taking
than
a
it
page
does
out of what we
look
did
like
for
Jason
Pele.
Momoa.
Oh, yeah.
With those sorts of things.
Legit. If you don't know what he looks
the
like,
model
well, I
just
guess he doesn't
seems
have
to
his
be
hair
very-
anymore,
dude,
but when he had his hair
emanates
like
that
a
strength.
month
Those
ago.
tattoos, man, they are
you
no
know, for
joke.
forever.
It took me like I worked on Pele's tattoos with the artist Trevor, and it took me like 5 or 6 hours just for the tattoo.
Really?
On her leg, it was crazy, dude.
Dang.
They're really intricate. If
That
you look
shark?
That's really awesome. There's the
Looks
Kraken.
like it
is.
It's a
Bunch
giant
of
striped
hammerhead.
shark.
bunch of hammerheads.
Dude,
That is.
So both the manta ray and the hammerhead shark
Bunch of
have like, the same
hammerheads.
kind of like tattoo feel as he has.
Okay.
So they're not
they
just
do.
your regular kind. They got like a little bit of flavor to them.
It's not your regular manta ray that you summon on a tidal wave that you shoot
Absolutely,
from your
man.
trident like we can all do. This is very specific.
Yeah, it's
to-
really cool looking.
That is really awesome. Chris, this skin, do these sorts of creatures that have this sort of texture and that kind of thing, like it seems like little different animations there. What do these do for your team, and are they challenging in that regard?
Yeah, it basically takes us making a whole new set of deployables for a skin like this because it's different from his basic wave, his basic kraken that normally comes out on his other skins. So obviously modeling, rigging, animation, everyone has to get involved for this big group effort.
Yeah, it looks really, really awesome.
Big
I was just
group
realizing
effort.
Poseidon's come a long way from the old fish feet that he used to have, you know?
And that's another thing too.
yeah.
You know, we're talking about all the cool stuff going around him. Like, I mean, like he just had this big old beard, man. It was really hard to make this work with like taking that away. I think he looks pretty good, but if you saw like
I
the
really
amount of
feel
work
like
that
we
goes
stay
into
on the
removing a
skins for
beard
a
on this guy, it's
long
not as
time.
simple as just going
I'm
to
not
the
gonna lie
barber
to you
and
guys.
handling
The
that.
skins
Right,
are
it's not a simple,
section
you
that
know,
I'm
drag
least
across
interested
it and
in.
delete.
I
you know,
strictly
you gotta
watch
fill in
the skins
what's under
so
there and
you
that kind
guys
of stuff.
can
The
watch the
trident
skins
also
without
has
having
that
to
really
deal with
nice
hi-rez
texturing of the
Yep.
water.
They don't
whenever your
excite
tide
me.
meter gets high.
And they take
I'm in
it
love with
takes
this
so
skin.
much
I'm gonna keep
longer
it
than the
real with
rest of the
everyone.
patch. I
cannot
would
wait to
rather
play
know
it.
more
Let's
bug
take a listen to the
fixes
voice
than
back here
stick
from
this
Riptide
on.
Poseidon.
For me personally.
Attack middle lane. Defend middle lane. Hero of the ocean. Attack the Titan. Did your mom ever tell you it is rude to stare? You are
I don't know
swimming
why,
in
but the way he said
dangerous
ocean.
waters.
Is it Robin? Is that
You're
who it
really
is?
something. Awesome. Really? My mom, Queen of the Seven Oceans.
So we got an Awilix
always tell
Athena
me,
voice back. We got a
"There's
Poseidon
way,
Robin.
There's a way.
Yep. Yep.
Why would she tell him that? Why? That doesn't make any. That is horrible advice. That doesn't even do anything for you. The voice, like,
Is this
it's
voice back
very.
2 out of 10?
This is just.
It's
this is just
fine.
man mode. Poseidon.
so
Like this is.
The
this
voice
is
back
what this is all
doesn't make me
about,
want to
isn't it?
die,
The guy
so
who
it's
voices
fine.
this is the voice from Megatron. So
It sounded
that's
familiar, dude.
why-
That's so
yes,
cool.
it was really funny because
awesome.
when he was voicing it, I was like, okay, you're going a little too Megatron. Like I can hear like Megatron. Like
Listen, you can't get rid of that
no
gravel
I
in the
know,
voice.
right?
Like,
I was like, please,
smoking under the
sexy,
water, you know?
sexy.
I'll tell you what. My voice. I'm very aware that it is not the most sexy
You're
broadcast
gonna start like
voice of
making
all
these
time.
sounds after you come under.
One of my teachers
Tito.
in college told me that the best thing I could do for my voice if I really wanted to get it broadcast ready was to smoke and drink a ton of whiskey. And I was like, that is horrible advice to give to someone.
Next on the Patch Note Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, next skin on the list. It's Abyssal Acolyte Agni. It's me, Riptide Poseidon, giving you the skin preview.
All right, that's all I can do.
Good. It's good, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt my voice.
Roll out.
Was that actually aggro doing that?
The opposite of that. This skin, this kind of reminds me of.
That didn't
another
sound any-
Poseidon
I
skin that we've
genuinely
done,
thought it was
actually,
somebody
that
else
he's
in the
got an
room doing
abyssal
it.
skin to him,
Yeah,
so
I
now Agni kind of taking that mantle from him, but only half of him. It looks like the two-headed god kind of works here.
So with this, we have a lot of these tentacle face guys, and it's a thing people like. So we're trying to do something where it's like, okay, let's take that, but try something with a little more narrative involved, right? Like, that's something we're trying to do with
His,
some of
like,
these guys.
pulsating
Tina, like Chris,
chest
like
cavity
Charles, has
back
got a whole
thing
like
really
thing
makes me
behind him.
uncomfortable.
We want narrative to be a thing that we
That's
can play into some of
gross.
these skins, and this was kind of a thing where it's like we got this warlock.
That's so
He's trying to
nasty.
summon this guy, this abyssal dude, into this like realm, right? And something happened with the spell that like messed it up. So now it like became part of him.
Damn,
But it
that
like
looks
fully
hype.
didn't. It's like merged with him, you know what I
Damn.
mean?
God, the effects are so,
he was
hype.
a one-headed normal
That's
acolyte
right.
person before
Damn.
this.
Trying to channel
Look how
the guy
creepy
into
that
this
is.
realm, and all of a sudden, like, oh shit, the spell messed up. And
Now
he's
I've got
like,
two
Dang.
heads.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, look at
And
those
tentacles.
wings.
The tentacles that
Gosh,
lay
the
down
effects
with
of this
that
kid are sick.
flame, the path of tentacles, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's
so we
called now.
wanted to have that being a lot of the abilities that kind of like really like his hand. You can see as like a tentacle kind of thing.
Yeah.
We want to leverage that in a lot of the abilities.
Spoopy, dude. Spoopy.
I mean, like you said, we have a couple of these sorts of theme of skins. Chalk has one.
Yep.
Poseidon has
Yep.
one.
Yep.
But getting this sort of feel to look like it
Just
does
what
still
we need
feel
more
like
of.
fire almost
More
with that,
Agni
with that
players.
path.
Yeah, no, we do
Chris,
not. We do
what did
not.
your team go through to try and make it still maintain that fire feel, but actually still look like the same sort of theme?
Yeah, I mean, this was a huge effort on the effects
Effects
team
guys
to
killing it, yeah.
get this stuff. They really knocked it out. Just like the other skin we just saw, the Flame Wave on Agni has a new deployable as well. So you see the little tentacles coming through.
Oh yeah, on the flame wave.
Yeah.
There are tentacles on each end to kind of roll it forward there. So that's completely new. No other Agni skin has that.
Okay.
That's
I
right.
feel like there needs to be some
Draw
way to those
pentagrams with the dash.
tentacles.
Summon an AMC quick.
Or something.
We should just get that sound. Just record that sound right there.
Done.
Because
Audio
look,
complete.
They're coming towards you. You can't even hear them.
I've
I feel
actually-
like it needs some like
I don't think
noise.
Hindu Man will attest to this. We had a game where we were casting the Poseidon skin that's kind of like this,
Yeah.
and I was saying that for his tidal wave because it's got like that tentacle that like chomps in front of it.
Wet slap.
You and I are on the
but
same
now we're
wavelength
waiting too long.
right now. I think mine was more like
This is
chompy and less
too
like
long. We're not-
disgusting.
I can't even
mouth
hear the
noise
abilities
from
'cause they're
ASMR,
talking,
but
so
like
it's
yeah,
fine.
we could make it work.
Let me hear his abilities or voice
Like
back
the
up.
asteroids that come, or like the fire things that come from the
Meteors,
sky.
yeah.
They're more of like a tentacle asteroid
Yeah.
kind of thing.
A big
Whoa.
amalgamation
What?
of
If you can,
stuff.
I don't know if you can slow it
That's
down.
yeah. Let's
Yeah,
get
it-
into
it
some
might be a little
slow mo
hard.
here. Upon the slow mo master, so I'm not even concerned about all this. Wow, that took a lot of effort. Apparently, it is really cool.
you
It
don't
looks
really
like it
get to appreciate
changes.
as much. Yeah, it's like moving around and everything.
Whoa,
really
that is
creepy,
so
yeah.
cool.
I never
like
realized
that.
that it
Look at
actually
Hot
was.
Pocket.
I never realized actually how the projectile like
Yeah.
Agni
Oh, it
ulti
came back up.
works.
It
That's funny.
it sure is an alien hot pocket. That's
Look
exactly
at it,
what
look
I
at it.
was
It's
thinking.
square.
Look
at it.
And
then-
that's where the similarities to a hot pocket end. that it has edges. I noticed the one as well.
Okay.
It seems to have that little like pattern to it. Does
Yeah,
that
yeah.
persist the entire time that it's down?
Well, you can see
Spinning
right
ball
here.
stands out.
There's like there's like a trail. So the tentacles go, but there's like a trail behind it. The persistent part of that.
Cool. So yeah, here's the noxious fumes that'll detonate. Oh, that's like some veins going on
Right.
in there whenever you end up detonating.
There's a
Oh.
lot of movement too going in the actual like if you can kind of see more of the front view of the character, like there's a lot of like subtle movement going on. It looks really cool.
That's really, really awesome. Once we get a look at the front view here, and as you mentioned, a half man, half not man.
Squid Man?
Squid
Yeah,
Man.
the Mr. Tentacles on one half, I suppose. Let's take a listen to the voice back here for Abyssal Acolyte Agni.
Attack! Attack middle lane! Defend middle lane! Attack the Titan! I have been to the other side. You seem like you would fit well there. I know more now than you'll ever know in 10,000 lifetimes. You did! Fine. I am all-powerful! Oh, this book is nothing sinister, just 50 Shades of Purple.
Sounds like a Cthulhu skin. Perfect.
There's your weird gargle noise that you were looking for.
Perfect.
Can you go back to the front of him? Is he like throbbing?
Yeah, that's
From
what
his
tentacles.
chest?
That's what
Yeah,
tentacles do.
Like-
he's pulsating a bit
Where?
Pulsating.
in the
Yeah, right-
material.
Right there, right underneath the right arm. It's bulging a little bit. Yeah, it's
There's a little water still going on everything too. You see it?
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Sliminess.
I definitely feels like you were saying, Ben, it's the acolyte that has been taken over,
Yeah.
but it's not like he's totally lost himself.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like he's accepted this
He's
new.
like, oh man, I blew it.
I guess I'm just gonna be all powerful now.
Yeah.
Like I guess that's kind of the thing. All right, this
Couple
one I've been
more
really excited about.
skins to go.
Warp Tech Giannis. I'm excited because
I don't
I'm
like
excited
this
about the last
skin.
two
I
skins 'cause
didn't
I play
like
a lot
the
of those
Zeus
guys. I play a
version
lot
of this
Giannis.
skin. I don't like
and
the
this
Giannis
also
version of this
fits
skin.
in with the theming of a previous Zeus skin that
Personally.
we've done. And I can only
Not
imagine
my
what sort of
favorite
effects we get to
theme.
do. with
Feels
that
very
Giannis, who is
Power
a
Ranger.
Super cool space robot.
Yep.
That's what he looks like to me.
Yeah, we're really digging the robot stuff. We've seen a lot of people enjoying this, so we're trying to expand it to other gods and see what we can do with them. And this one, I think, came out really well.
Yeah, it looks really, really awesome. And let's take a look right away. I just got to get straight to the portals and see what everything looks like there. I will tell you, I get asked all the time on my stream what my favorite skin in the entire game is. And it's a Giannis skin. It's Rift Shaker Giannis. The earth, like the sort of like blue greens. I don't know what it is, but that skin really speaks to me. So this one's going to have to blow me out of the water or get me away from that one. And that's a
the
cool
one with
start.
The rocks and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I made that one.
Yo,
Hey,
great,
all right,
great
man.
work,
Thanks,
man.
appreciate that.
That's my favorite skin in the whole game.
Oh, you can see the dimensions and stuff.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool. Now, I will say that this is still being worked on, where some of these effects on the portals I see here have a little bit of a tilt to them that still need to be worked on. So you can expect some changes before you get to
cool
play this
portal.
on the live server. But certainly looking good, very regal on the
cool
entrance.
portal.
That is super cool.
The positive on those is you can launch your big blue balls at people, and that's always a
Balls really
positive.
that large? When he like
Usually when you throw them out, they don't look that big.
Well, I was just about to. I was literally just about to say it, Tina, but I guess you kind of got to me. This is actually, it's the same exact hitbox as the regular Unstable Vortex. If you've been wondering how did that hit me this entire time, it's because that's the actual size of those projectiles.
No way.
So we'll let you see that a little bit better. I would not have said it the way you did, Tina. No
So
matter
you're
how much
staring
you
the
are
whole time.
staring.
That's
at
the
me
actual
right
size
now.
of the projectile, and they haven't been
Unstable
showing us the
Vortex
right size of the
portals.
projectile the entire time.
It's actual. They're like portals that he's shooting. That's
kidding
that's
me?
the lore behind it. Read a tooltip.
Okay.
Just saying. They also look like balls. Wait, I missed it. I was staring at Tina. Let me. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. And that, of course, will fire portals throughout the entire map.
Sick.
Looking really good. That gold and blue work really, really well
Yeah,
together.
it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
That's really awesome stuff. Unfortunately, we will not be able to show you the voice pack quite yet. That is also still a work in progress here for Warp Tech Giannis, but of course you can expect that ready for you on the live server. Also, we'll say that his portal is a jump stamp as of what I've got here, so you'll be able to get that around everywhere pretty much. Nice. Really want to talk about the balls a whole lot, but not.
Just a smaller version of the portals, or so you don't confuse people.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. I love the audio effect still. That's my favorite part of the Skytech Zeus skin is the audio portions of it. And this one continuing to get it done there. All right. I love this skin. I could watch it for a while, but I know what you're all waiting for, and actually what I'm waiting for too. Sunny Chibi
This is the last skin, I think, right?
Oh my god, it's so cute.
It is super cute.
Alright.
Like, look.
I like the guy flying in the background.
Itty Chibi AMC.
Yo, is that a Susano
More
in the
terrifying
background?
than
Did you guys see that?
If you ask me. That one
was
freaks
that
me.
was that a
I
little
will not
wink
be
wink
scared
nudge
to admit
nudge
that
for
I have
making
had
a
a couple
chibi
nightmares
Susano next?
This skin, however,
There was in the background.
is just so cute.
It is.
Her head is massive.
It is.
Why is it so big? She would never be able to float.
Because it's chibi.
She's a little chibi.
It's the definition of chibi. Big head.
And this is this skin. You just got a little preview of it there. The face is where this is really going to be awesome. So you're really showing it off for your enemies a lot of the time.
There's a lot of expression here. We had a bunch of different like eye shapes and mouth shapes, and they're all tied in different animations, so that everything just like looks totally perfect for emotions and all that stuff from a distance because they're so large. It's a lot of work went into this one. This is like Chris Cooner worked on this, and he spent tons of time getting this like technically working. Chris over here worked on that as well.
She's so mad.
She was so angry. That was so cool.
We have an artist, one of the riggers, Veronica. She's a super big fan of chibi stuff.
She's so mad.
She's pretty pissed.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good.
I totally ran over you there.
No,
but
you're totally fine, man.
Super stoked.
We have some fans that are really into chibi stuff that like pretty much mini art directed a lot of what's going on here. Like drew a lot of the facial expressions and stuff, and we made sure that we were doing it right on this one.
So angry. The animations here seem to match perfectly, and was that a big part of how the skin worked out? And I think either Chris or Ben you guys could really answer this, and how much you wanted to match the animation and how the skin felt to what the face was going on.
That's Chris all day. This guy was working to break it down on this stuff.
Yeah, this skin had a lot of work in it.
I believe
so
you.
We used the Ratatosker face as
Kind
a
of the
basis
funny
for
thing
the
is
tech.
kind of like how you can almost not see your body at all, like behind her hair,
eyes
which
and
is
mouth
funny.
independently.
Literally, as you're playing, all you see
and
is
now
her
that we've
hair.
got that sorted out,
As a
this
player,
is
all
going to be the
you're gonna
baseline
watch
for
is her
skins going
hair.
forward for these chibi styles.
Wait, we're gonna get more that look this good all the time?
That's up to Ben.
I am saying that we now have a chibi that works well for people, not just creatures. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
so
sure.
I say expect more of these. If the fans like it, we'll give it to them.
Ben,
Exactly.
we should have a little talk after this about
I got you, man.
Chibi Zeus skin.
Whatever you need. We'll make it happen.
Couple gems coming
Just
your
throw
way if everything goes well. You know?
All right.
That's all I'm trying to say. So we already saw some of the animations
It's a
for
cool
whenever
skin, I guess.
Amaterasu is attacking herself, but there are also some for when she gets attacked.
That's why the get
in
was here,
general,
by the way.
should have some special faces there. As Pon's gonna have to work it out and exactly get that timing right. Now that she's stunned, maybe that he can see it. I don't know. I don't know how any of this tech stuff work. I just want to see Ama be really cute and angry and upset and stunned and sad. That's just kind of what I want. I just want this, I just need these faces
Where's he going?
around me all the time. Hades, come back.
Hades, please.
We need some Sarah McLachlan music right now to come back for us to
Hades
get
said,
it in the
"F
right
you,
spot. That
F your
Hades
passion.
walking off into the
I'm
sunset.
out of here, dude.
Feels bad, Hades. That's a feels bad.
He said, "I will not be a part
this is
of your capitalistic promotion."
I know, it's like her head is massive. What about? I mean, we obviously talked about the tech and all that kind of stuff that we got to add in to all of this. What about Amma? What was the choice to make all this tech work? Like, what about Amaterasu as a god made her the best fit for this?
We
What are we supposed to be
like
looking
doing
at?
skins for her.
That
Fans seem to like her a lot. So we're like, you know what? We think she would be a perfect example with trying a human.
Okay, so she got hit and she looks sad. Is that what we're doing here?
Looks to have filled that role. You saw a
Whatever.
little bit of that face she gets when she's silenced. Her eyes kind of glaze over and can't really do a whole lot after that. Pana's just killing bots left and right, sending them off into the sunset. My heart will go on. Amma, goodbye.
Go, my friend.
I will miss you. Remember me. All right, let's take a listen now to the voice pack here for Sunny Chibi Amaterasu.
Can we be friends? That was fantastic. I'm brighter than you.
That's kind of rough.
Attack middle lane. Attack the Titan.
Somehow a little
We
bit
already
less
know who's gonna rise from this battle.
totally cringy than I thought it
I
would
have
be.
a feeling we're not gonna be friends. No one puts a chibi in the corner. Got it, bozo?
But
We haven't been able to show them off as much as we would like to, but make sure you go with a friend into a jungle practice and check out all the different faces that Amma will make during the taunts, the jokes,
The Titan
her getting
is literally
stunned
fighting
or silenced or anything like that. There's plenty of awesome stuff there you can check out. Yeah, that's what you get for running away. Mama Amma there in the base, the bigger
That did
version.
kinda sound like
Sunny
Discordia,
Chibi
didn't
Amaterasu, the namesake of this patch, or the kind of the face of this patch, if you will. Now, normally you'd expect to hear an inappropriate comment from someone on the couch by this point.
They start
because
playing
Tina's
sad
been quiet
music?
for a little bit, but that's because we actually swapped her out. Not because of what she was saying, but because we got
Somebody start
cool
playing
stuff
a
to talk
violin
about.
in the background?
AJ has moved back over, and Ben has left his little chair and is now on the couch. Guys, all those skins were great. However, none of those are Odyssey Tier 5 skins.
Very true. We have one skin to rule them all, right?
Yes.
That's okay. The tier 5, the tier 5 skin. And after much deliberation, we do have a winner.
Yes.
Drum roll, please. Wait, do I get to reveal it?
I don't know.
Let's go right ahead, man.
It's Ares, everyone. Ares is
classy.
your tier 5.
We talked a lot about how we would talk about this, but we didn't decide who would officially say the name. So thank you, Aggro.
I jumped on that grenade.
Ares won. It was a hard-fought battle.
Thank the
I really
Lord.
like how we did
That
the
would have
voting
been
this year.
so bad
It was
if
really
Ganesh
cool
won.
watching every god go head-to-head.
Yep.
And we're obviously we loved the Ganesh idea, the
I was
final
rooting
Ganesh
for it.
idea.
Oh, gosh.
We're still going to try to make that skin happen in some way or another. But for this year's Tier 5 Odyssey, we're going to have Godslayer Ares, and we're going to follow the story of Ares, a general, a leader.
Way better.
An unsurmountable army who just wants a little more power and finds this shield relic that seems harmless at first, and
as they always do,
something that he think will empower him.
Just wants to get him to that next level.
Right, something that will make him be a just and strong ruler.
Ares,
But little does he
Ares
know
buffs
that
incoming.
it will
Tier 5
instead
skin.
fuel his
Gotta buff him.
thirst
Gotta
for
get
power
everybody playing
and violence,
Ares.
eventually consuming him to be a.
It'll come. Don't worry
literal
about it. It'll
phantom
come.
and
Couple patches before the
barely,
Tier
you know,
5.
very different from his former
It's coming.
It looks awesome. This concept art is great, and Polar Bear Mike is here for the United Invitational. I can almost hear him screaming yes from his hotel down the road
I'm
because
just picturing the World Championship scream. I can see it happening right
yeah,
on the
exactly.
other side
Yeah,
of this
let's
wall.
go, baby! Like, yeah. All pumped up that it is this Ares selection. And honestly, like you said, either one of those concept arts, I think, I was very excited about. And hearing that the Ganesh skin is still hopefully getting done in some capacity, though not to that same sort of, just incredible level that we do the Tier 5s every year. We didn't do the story behind it. I mean, there was a little bit for years past in the Tier 5s. are we really trying to push the narrative behind this skin a little bit more this time around?
It's more of an inspiration for all of our skins. Like, not necessarily something we put in the game as text or anything, but when we're coming up with these skin ideas, we like to think of a backstory and help us make decisions about the art.
It adds credibility and like you said, anything in that story that we can add that like his shield, right? You saw the shield is getting like kind of creepy and stuff. Like,
Right.
That's part of where the shield is actually about to like take him over, right? So that all that narrative stuff helps create more visuals and where we can like put like focal points in like areas of interest with skins. So it's not something that's necessary, but the minute you add that, it like really like levels up the skin, I think.
Perfect. Well, again, congratulations to all you Aries mains out there.
All I
You
heard
have
was
the
not
tier 5s
necessary.
from this year.
That's
Odyssey.
why
on the joust map, right?
I watched those votes streaming, man. I was surprised, but Aries.
Anything else important?
They've been looking for their
What
guardian
happened was
for
you
quite
called
some
Russia.
time.
Russia made some contacts and then just
I think we did
just
it.
made it happen.
Anyways, we kicked Tina off the couch. Like I thought I was in the clear here, Ben. Goodness, come on, man.
I didn't hear it at all.
One last thing. Last year we had a lot of little teasers and previews on what was going on with the Woojer skin. Can we expect a little bit more of that this year as well? Like some work in progress or anything like that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, as we show with Hera, the early concept art, and we're going to be doing early blog posts for her, talking about her kit a little early. So keep in mind, we really like this hype building we've got and the community feedback we're hearing. So we did a big work in progress video with Bologna, and we showed the full concepts for all the forms of that months ago.
Yep.
So that was only kind of a taste of the end form of Aries. So when we get the finalized, completed full four forms, I'm sure we'll start showing that off, and
we just want to give a taste as to where we're going.
I'll give you a taste.
Like the whole other side,
I'll give you a taste.
It's less so much of a journey of like, here's your level 1 guy who evolves into level 4. It's more of like, here's your heroic character that transitions into more of like an evil kind of character. That's kind of so the first one's going to be pretty damn epic to begin with.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm really excited about too.
Yeah, not starting from like the little
I don't know what
acolyte
that
that
was,
Anubis is or anything like
And
that.
that's part of the narrative, right?
Yeah.
Like this time, like before, that was
Oh,
part
we're
of the
back.
narrative. He was an acolyte
Right.
that became
Right.
A lot that stuff really helps with these T5s.
For sure. I'm very excited to see what we've got for that Aries skin. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here. And thanks to everyone at home who was here to watch that 5.15 update show. PTS.
Hey, we did it. We made it through the entire show. Honestly, kind of a lackluster patch notes. Like, a couple of guys that needed to get hit got hit. Freya didn't get hit at all. Baron got hit, which was nice a little bit. Nezha got hit nice, which a little bit. Chernobyl got hit, which is nice a little bit. Like, those were like the 4 bans that are banned every single game, as those 4. But Freya didn't get touched, so she'll still be banned. Skins were cool. Voice packs were meh. I basically see no meta changes coming from this patch. The new item seemed garbage, so I don't think anybody's going to use it. I don't think you're going to see too many changes from this patch, other than if you play ranked, you might see a little bit of your ranked bans change. Just depending on, maybe it gets a little bit more into like, something you're less comfortable going against instead of like the same guys every game. But I think Nezha's still an insta-ban and Freya's still an insta-ban. So, and Trino didn't, actually I take it back. It's still going to be the exact same bans. Nothing's going to change outside of like maybe you won't have to ban Baron anymore if you don't feel like it. So, that's kind of that, guys. That's the patch notes. Pretty small. Not really anything big. Nothing crazy happened. So, pretty chill. So thank you guys for watching the stream today. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all your support and everything that you do. We'll be back, guys, on, what's today? Friday. So we'll be back on Sunday, guys, at some point in the morning. Come back for some more action. Thank you guys for your support. I could not do this without you. And as always, have a Twitch